Buhari protected terrorists, stopped military from going after his favorite criminals. Obasanjo. Hello viewers, welcome to our channel this morning. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has placed an allegation, is accusing the former president of Nigeria, which is no other person than Muhammadu Buhari. On this note, is pointing out the place of Buhari when he was in tenure concerning some certain criminals, which is no other persons than the terrorists. According to him, he said the terrorist group had some people who were dear to the former president. And so when harsh disciplinary measures, military actions were taken, some were treated leniently while some were not. Viewers, it is really not helpful to the country. Such action can never be helpful because it will cause instability in the security of the country. It will bring about insecurity state. It will bring about much and so many violence, so many acts of violence, so many acts of criminality, and so on and so forth. And he also believed that during Buhari's time in the office, Nigerian security case was really worse, was challenging, was serious, was taken to the height that was never ever imagined when he was in position. We all know that in Buhari's time, there were so much loss of lives, there were so much loss of properties. That was a period we experienced terrorism like never before. In fact, that was the first time in its full force that terrorism was taking its place in the country, Nigeria. And sometimes I come across cases online where some, let's say, headsmen or terrorists, or rather the bandits, are being killed maybe by a non-bandit. And you will see that the case will be taken up to court. The person will be charged, or rather the people who are involved or person who is involved will be charged to court. But it is not always the other way around. It is the reverse is usually the case. It is said to be that when terrorists causes an attack, when terrorists invades any place, any village or community, once it comes up on the news, it dies down after 24 hours. But when it comes to be that a community kills a terrorist, or a community kills an headsman who is penetrating or perpetrating that place negatively, it becomes a case. It becomes something that has to be sued to court. It now becomes something that the person or the people involved has to be charged. And Obasanjo is bringing out that fact that has not really been seen over time, or rather has not been looked into. Not that it has not been seen, but has been swept under the carpet. And he has also alleged that under Buhari's leadership, the military was not impartial. Do you understand? In their response to criminal activity, it was never impartial. Like I said earlier on, he said that some people were treated leniently while some were treated harshly with the military actions because they were under the covering. Those that were treated leniently were under the covering of Buhari. We all know definitely that in his time, no case of bandits or terrorism were charged to court, in the sense that this group, that a terrorist group, they invaded the place, they killed some people, they are the cause of some loss of lives and property, and for that reason, by so doing, they will be charged to court. There was never a case like that. And even if there was, that we might not know of, it wasn't brought to the light. It wasn't brought to the notice of the masses. And all these are what he is stressing out. He further stressed that as commander-in-chief, Buhari was responsible for so many military directions. He was the one directing some form of military activities and actions, and ensuring also nationwide security. And it is not, I don't see it as, despite the fact that he was in the military before he came into power, I also think that it was not in his place to do that. He was not in his place to decide or to direct the military activities and actions and so on and so forth. And this also for me has really been a kind of a weakening. It has brought about the drop down in the state, in the country's affair. It has it has dropped the strength, the security strength and capacity of the state. I want to know what you think, viewers, because many a times we do not see what happens outside the news, and most times what comes to us is not what has happened. It is usually a cover up case. I want to know what you think, because I know many of us, we listen to updates, we go through we get into the internet, we see so many updates, so many things pops up, and you might have your own views about this, you might have your own take, you might have your own contribution on what this report is all about. I know there are more to this, but shortly we'll give you the details that we have in full. Please keep your comments rolling in after now. Thank you for staying with us. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has accused former President Muhammadu Buhari of protecting certain criminal groups during his time in office, a move he believes worsened Nigeria's security challenges. Obasanjo made this claim in Chapter 11 of his newly released book, Nigeria, Past and Future, where he criticized Buhari's handling of security issues. He alleged that under Buhari's leadership, the military was not impartial in its response to criminal activities. Instead, some groups were allegedly treated leniently, while others faced harsher military action. Obasanjo argued that such selective enforcement significantly undermined nation security efforts. To support his claim, he referenced General T.Y. Danjuma's earlier accusations that terrorists and criminals were allowed to commit serious crimes without military intervention. Obasanjo emphasized that Danjuma, known for his credibility, would not make such allegations lightly. He further stressed that as Commander-in-Chief, Buhari was responsible for directing the military and ensuring nationwide security. However, if security operations were conducted selectively, both in terms of location and military response, it could have severely weakened the nation's stability. Obasanjo concluded that such an approach to governance represented a major failure and a tragic setback in Nigeria's security and progress. Well, viewers, that's the news in full. That's the report in full. Like I said, I know most of us have what we think. We have our knowledge of some other informations concerning or relating to these updates. Please drop it in the comment section, and do not forget to click on the notification button for more updates. Thank you for staying with us.